Turn on transcript as well. It's under more, I think. Apply transcript, it's third.
Okay, there you go. Just to double check, am I audible to everyone? Okay, cool. That being said, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Mangti Patikawa. I'm the senior student intern at the Career Center. I work closely with master's and doctoral students. Joining me today, Dr. Paul Rainey, the senior career coordinator from working closely with master's and doctoral students too. And then to acknowledge this presentation today, the material has been well crafted by Dr. Rainey in order to provide best resources and information for everyone who's attending this event. Today's presentation, we will be covering smarter job search using HireAggies job and networking resources. Before I start the presentation, I'd like to mention a little bit, shout out to the HireAggies professional certification. This is a professional development resources programming and certificate for graduate and professional students. For information, you can check out, visit all these information details below. And then attending today's event can earn you a HireAggies professional development unit or PDU towards a professional development certificate by completing reflections in HireAggies professional development certificate canvas page. So if you attend the workshop today, do not forget to fill in the reflection quiz. That will make you eligible to earn one PDU. Students questions a lot about, okay, what to do with those with that certificate. In here we have the information that you will be eligible to receive a graduate and professional school research and presentation travel award. For more information, you can visit the link provided. And the HireAggies also, there are several departments that work or in collaboration with HireAggies certification program. We are from the Career Center, and there are others department as well that you can attend their workshops and then earn one PDUs after completing the reflection on your canvas. All right, so a little bit about what we are going to cover today. We are really going to highlight the resources and then how to strategically craft your application or your resume based on those information that you find or you found from the resources provided by from the career resources. This is the learning outcome. So basically we want you to be able to identify your skills and then tailor that to your resume and then prepare your application documents and eventually ended up having a job or secure a position before or while you're in the program. Okay, so I'd like to have a quick activities today. If you can scan this QR code, there will be questions for you to answer. I think we also have that in the chat. Yes, Dr. Rainey just put the the link on the chat, so you can go ahead and then answer those two questions. And that, I'm gonna stop share there. And then I'm gonna pull up, let me try to pull this here. Can you see the screen or no?
No, you need to reshare for that.
Okay, I'm gonna stop share that one and then I'm gonna share the second screen, right? All right, cool. So please take some time and then try to fill in this information, all right? Cool. Okay, so 18 people, weird. Okay. No, not weird. Okay, so we have two just started the graduate school. And then we have 8 people in the second and then third year of the graduate school. And then, 8 people will graduate like less than a year. Interesting. All right. So this is the time when you're like trying to figuring out, okay, what I wanted to do with my degree and also what kind of jobs that are available out there. That's great. So let me go ahead and then see. Okay, we have 9 now. Great. Please come. All right. The next question is, what are some Career Center resources you are familiar with? It's something that you have tried, something that you know of but haven't tried. Feel free to type anything. So you can type like more than one. You can give like more than one answer. For example, maybe mock interview. Okay, not sure. Good, very good. We wanted to hear from others as well to give us a bigger picture on how well you know or how familiar you are with our resources. Nothing much. Okay, HireAggies, never tried. Good. VMock. Okay, career service, good. Resume revision, LinkedIn, great. Resume reviews, lots of resumes interviewed. Okay, great. HireAggies. Okay, cool. Workshops, drop-ins, career advising, great. So it's a good editing CVs. Good. Interestingly, like you guys know some of our resources that are available through our system. Cover letter revision, and then the list go on, right? Not really until now. Okay, that's interesting. Like people still don't know. It's okay. Sometimes we are in the graduate school, we kind of like focusing on our classes and we kind of not really familiar with other resources out there that are available that will help you prepare in terms of preparing for your career development or applying for jobs. That being said, I'm gonna stop share that one and then I will share this one instead. All right, so that being said, I'm still looking at it. So I'll go ahead a little bit introduction on the career resource. So using career resources can help graduate students to engage in career exploration to become savvy about affability of career path and next steps to take in the journey. So there are lots of resources related to career that available out there that sometimes kind of neglected by graduate students, but they did not know that it is important to be familiar with those resources to make you ready, to help you prepare for your career exploration. The Career Center, we host many powerful resources that facilitates graduate students' career journey and should be used to currently while completing your coursework, research, and other projects. We also have this one here called Career Development. It is an iterative process. So it's a process and then you do repeatedly. So, and going through the process throughout one's graduate education will make the transition to work much easier when graduation time comes. So because this is a process, so we always suggest our students, especially graduate students, to start as early as they can. When we say start as early, it doesn't mean that you have to apply for a job directly, but you wanted to do some research, you wanted to get familiar with the resources so then before graduation, you will be able to fill the gaps that you need to secure a job, the job that you want, the job that you really like, your passion, the job that you're passionate with. As I mentioned that this is the career development and the exploration, it's called this is a process. So there are some steps to do that. We've created 4 simple steps or basic steps that you can start. First, you wanted to do assessment. Oftentimes, students came in the appointment and say, I don't know what to do with my major. I don't know if there's any job available or interest me in the major, in my current study. So with that, we can indicate that not all students or not all graduate students knowing themselves well. So by taking this assessment, by taking assessment to get to know yourself, to get to know your value, and then what is it that fits your skills will help you to better explore the options that you have. And here we have like find out where your interests lie in specific industry and sectors. For example, also people wanted to do something, let's say when you work in, when your program is in chemical engineering program, there are lots of different jobs that needs chemical engineers. There are lots of different industry. The industry could be oil and gas. The industry could be something related to technology that also related to that needs the chemical engineers. And so by doing the assessment, it will help you to analyze yourself well before moving forward to the next step of the process, which is explore. So when you learn about what is it you wanted to do, what's your skills and value, and then you can use that to begin constructing a plan, and then you can do the exploration. What it means by exploring your career options is that you wanted to learn about the careers, the valued skills, the language they use, and begin constructing your plan. This time, at this process, you should be able to knowing what is it you wanted to do, but it does not mean that when you conduct your, when you take the assessment, and then that's it for the rest of your life. Remember, people, this is an iterative process. So the more you go into the graduate program, the more you learn, the more like you will know what is it you're interested in. So you can explore a lot of options before making a career decision and apply for jobs. And then when you study about yourself, what is it you want, and then you explore the options that are available, and then you can start like, you can curate, and then you can like really see what is, you can build the internal capital to launch your career by supplementing skills and establishing a strong network of contacts. By this, we mean that when you know what is it you're looking for, you will know, okay, this is the skill that I have, this is the things that I don't have. Maybe some people have like really great academic achievement, but they have less network. So you're seeing all the gaps, and then like throughout your program, when you know exactly what is it you're looking for, you'll be able to like start build and then fill in the gap. The next tips is when you're ready, you know that what is it you wanted to do, you figure out things like, for example, jobs that are interested the most, and then you fill in the gap or your skills gap and all that. And then you should be able to start applying for jobs. And then you wanted to use everything previously learned to craft a career narrative to create application materials and acquire a position. So take an example. So we have this case, a study case with the AGT grad student. So the AGT grad student who is currently studying neuroscience, loving research, but also curious about industry. So Aggie is questioning whether they want to pursue a traditional academic career as a professor or follow a career outside of the academia. So this is lots of our students, grad students, like struggling, figuring out whether wanted to do the academia or wanted to do like going to industry. There are lots of things to consider when you make a decision which sectors that you wanted to go. That's why that is important in the beginning to take the assessment, so that you know strengths and weaknesses, and also the opportunities and threats that are coming your way. And then how does Aggie use career center resources to gain clarity, explore opportunities, and eventually launch their career? Okay, with that, I'm gonna postpone that questions in that case, and then we're gonna go a little bit through the IDPs, and we can go back to answering and then help Aggies to strategically tailor the resume. All right, so what is it, IDP? So IDP is a graduate student career tools. It stands for Individual Development Plan. With the IDPs, it contains assessment. So there will be assessment questions for you to take, but you wanted to treat this question, you wanted to like really take some time to answer those questions because you wanted to match the questions to your personality. So you don't want to be rushed in answering those questions. And then from that assessment, there will be option to explore for the exploration part, because after taking all that assessment, the IDP software, the IDP tools, it will help you it will provide some sort of family jobs. So you can see like, okay, your result matches to this kind of field jobs or job families. And then from there, it's also a great tool for you to start planning, filling the gap. A lot of times students came and said, I have this, like, I just started, they went to graduate school because they want to change career, for example. So you have this, like, lots of experience in different majors or different field than the one that you're studying. So when you're able to, like, take the assessment and then explore your options and then set your planning, it will help you to fill in your gap by taking advantages of all resources available out there. So there are here are 4 examples of IDPs or individual development plan. We have one from Texas A&M, and then Imagine PhD, my IDP, and then Chem IDP. We will go a little bit detail about that in the next slide. So start with the Texas A&M IDP. This IDP is developed by the Center of Teaching Excellence at the Texas A&M University. So you can use, this one can be used by all master's and PhD students and postdoc students to help guide through the graduate students or postgrad process. These ones also have like timelines and then like really detailed plan. You can start plan yourself like long-term plan or also small-term plans. You can have these tools to help you set that. The next one is the Imagine PhD. So this IDP is developed by Graduate Career Consortium. So this is really tailored towards master's, doctoral students, and postdoctoral students. This focus on the Imagine PhD focus on social science, education, humanities graduate students and postgraduate students, but it's still highly recommend for STEM and business students as well. So do not be discouraged, because I mentioned earlier, this is like tailored for a specific field. Even though if you're in the STEM or in business students, there are lots of job fields provided as well for you to explore. The next one is my IDP. This one is developed by American Association for Advance of Science. This one is focused on STEM and health science, but also highly recommend for social science and humanities students as well. The next one is this is Chem IDP, sorry. This one is Chem IDP. This is developed by American Chemistry Society. This is focused on chemistry, chemical engineering, and other cognate fields. All right, so from those 4 examples of IDPs, you wanted to try to explore, and remember, you can explore, you can try to utilize all 4s, but at the end, you will be the one that decided which one is best suit your needs. All right, so let's go back to the Aggie T grad students. So let's say the Aggie explores on both Imagine PhD and My IDP. This one is the Imagine PhD one. And then this is the My IDP, the science one. After taking the assessment, the Aggie finds two possible careers of interest. The first one is research and analysis. Specifically, Aggie is interested in UX research and design due to the strong link and cognition. The second one is research scientist, which would still be academic, but not necessarily the tenure track. A lot of students, like grad students, come and then ask about like this kind of opportunity. You can still do research, but doesn't necessarily you have to be like teaching and then or do the tenure track. So if this is the case for the Aggie grad, Aggie, let's say Aggie. So from the IDP, from the Imagine PhD, there will be when Aggie take the assessment, there will be information about research and analysis skills, for example. And then from that, after taking that assessment, Aggie finds that they have a high level of skills in quantitative research, but maybe a little deficient in cultural competence, which would be needed in this career field. So, and then from the MyCam, My IDP, looking at the staff scientist, Aggie finds that they are very strong in basic writing and editing, but lack experience and skills in writing grants, which would be integral in this career, especially since self-funding is integral in this success. So by taking the assessment and then explore the options, now Aggie knows what are the gaps, what are the strengths, what are the weakness, and then what is it that that Aggie needs to do to fill in the gaps. All right, so seeing that areas where Aggie may be deficient, they explore the opportunities at Texas A&M. So there are students organizations or internal fundings opportunity that are focused on diversity. Remember the information that Aggie found on the Imagine PhD that Aggie has these skills but lack of like diversity or cultural knowledge. So by joining the students organization, maybe the Aggies can focus on diversity so that can increase the cultural fluency. And there's also appears to be fundings or grant opportunities in the current research. So I'm going back to this one very quickly. So by knowing the gaps that Aggies needs to be able to excel in the job, Aggie used the opportunities or resources that are available in the university. A lot of graduate students did not pay attention in this kind of resources. So they're kind of like a little bit a step ahead from others that utilize all the resources. All right, with that, I'm gonna go ahead to the HireAggies resources. So HireAggies actually is the platform that we use. It is basically the simplicity. And then we at the Career Center, we use this platform and we call that as HireAggies resources. In here, you will find a job board that is specifically to A&M students and former students. Remember, this job board's available for all Aggies, no matter like how far are you in the program or like are you graduated or not. These resources available for them all. And then itself, the portal, the other resources, this slide. In HireAggies, if you go through our system at the Career Center at Texas A&M, we logged into HireAggies, there will be other resources that are embedded into the system. First one is the Career Shift. So the Career Shift is a job board aggregator that provides listings of jobs across the university, across the United States, and also from other countries. This Career Shift is like, I kind of always, sometimes I said it's kind of Indeed, but on steroids. So like, it's like really powerful, selecting or filtering all jobs that are available. And it's like new every time. And then we also have Career Insider by First Hand. This one, there are lots of information about specific employers and industry like Glassdoor. This one is more like Glassdoor on steroids, but the other ones, CareerShield is more like Indeed on steroids, but this one's, the Career Insider First Hand is more like Glassdoor. And then this one, in this one, and this career, sorry, in this First Hand, there are lots of informations like insight on employers, like companies, and then the interns positions, like how does the intern things, or, and lots of good informations there. And then how to prepare as well to get to certain position. The next one is going global. So going global is also embedded into the HireAggies. So this one is more with the H-1B friendly employers. They have the list. This is very good one for the international students. And also the career shift also have the H-1B list, company list as well. So you can start and then explore options. What's cool about going global itself is not only that it provides information for international students, but also for American students, like who like think of maybe find a job in other countries. There are all informations like how to prepare in terms of what you need, and then what you need to adjust when you apply for jobs outside of the United States as well. The next thing is versatile PhD. So the versatile PhD, it contains of information on various non-academic careers for STEM and also non-STEM students and graduates. This one is cool. I'll go ahead and then talk details about that in the next slide. So we start with HireAggies. So what is it in HireAggies? So there are a lot of things that you can do with HireAggies. This is just very few of them. You can search and apply for jobs and internship there. You can also search for expired jobs and internship. You might be questioning, why do I need to search for expired jobs? Let's say maybe you wanted to do research on, like you wanted to apply for a position and then you don't know. So you look for the expired jobs. You can see like the job description and all that. So it can help you tailor and prepare yourself to create your resume. And then it can also give the information about, okay, so let's say you want to work at Shell company. So seeing all the expired jobs, it can help you to see, okay, so you can learn the pattern. For example, Shell, when is it that they start recruiting intern? Oh, when is it that they start to open for this kind of position? And then what are the positions that they're looking for? With that, you will be able to adjust your timeline in order to prepare before applying for a job. And then there are lots of information about attend employer events and career fairs as well that are available. This one is good for you to start network or build your network. And then you can also find contacts, recruiters, and hiring managers to help you to ask questions or just literally to advocate for yourself. For example, there are jobs. A lot of master's students, they came and then came to an appointment and talk about applying for internship. But then when they search for the internship position, there's only very few that are available for graduate students. Plenty of the position available for senior students. But do not feel discouraged, because as you wanted to gain experience, right? If you have not have a certain experience in a field or things that you wanted to learn, like internship, no matter is it for specifically tailored for graduate students or for like lower than that, it's also a good time to explore as well. However, students can normally be like, I'm not qualified for this because I am above, I'm in a graduate school. So sometimes if you feel like this is something that you wanted to learn and then you need that, you can like actually reach out to recruiters that have their contact information in our system to advocate yourself. Okay, so with the career shift, this is a very good way to find contact as well. In here, there are filters that you can find or search jobs by city, states, country, the title of the jobs, the experience level, what kinds of industry, and then job type, and then the listing sources. In here also, if you go to advanced search, it will show you the list of H-1B, the list of companies that provide H-1B visa for international students. So when you are aware with those lists, those companies, next time in your job search, you can like really try to find like companies, look at the companies, and then see if there's any available positions open there. And then the going global one. This is a global, as it's mentioned, going global. This is indeed a truly global search engine. There are internships and the actual full-time jobs, and then the country guys. It's this one that I mentioned before, where you wanted to thinking of apply in other countries, or for example, people who never left Texas and then think maybe wanted to find a job in different states. There are also a lot of information provided there. And important, very important again for international students, the H-1B sponsorship information. So this is the going global look like. And then we come to another one, which is versatile PhD. This one's also embedded in the HireAggies system or resources. This is a career finder. You can have your talk about share your experience, and also this is a great forums because they have this like meetings and forums for like PhD trained and all that. And then they also provide webinars, and then sometimes they have like the chapter. They have like forums and chapters where you can like actually like meet up in person or have a virtual meetups. In Career Insider by First Hand, there are lots of things that you can find the information here. You can find company rankings, you can find career advice, you can find research, you can research your companies, and then to research your companies, you can learn from the blogs, because there are blogs like articles that they put, but it can really help you to research for that companies. It could be something like companies, do they value wellness? Companies, what kind of value that companies focus on? And then you can also search for internship jobs through the guides. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and then help you to read a job descriptions. This is a crucial thing for all students who are in their job exploration. A lot of time, students came to the appointment not like asking to review the resume, but they didn't really tailor that resume for a specific position. That is one of the reasons when I have my appointment with students, if they ask for a resume review, first thing I will ask, like, do you have a job descriptions, or are you like applying for a certain position, or are you attending a specific occasion? Because resume needed to be tailored to a specific this position. So you want to take some time to learn or to read the job descriptions. And then we're gonna go and then show you a little bit about how to read the job description. Let's go back to the Aggie case, the Aggie T grad student case. So the requirements here is like master's degree. This is pretty much the basic requirement here. These are the objects baseline requirements needed in order to be qualified for the job. And then your resume needs to demonstrate them. So let's say if they're looking for master's degree. So indeed, you'll have to have your master's degree, or in case you are trained to be a master's degree. So you wanted to have those kinds of requirements or qualification stated in your resume. It has like, and then you can also identify what field that they're looking for. And then these also have years of experience, okay? let's say if Aggie is a PhD student, they will meet the 4 years requirement. But what if the Aggie T is a master's student? How can they get the experience? But this one, you can share the experience like while doing your research, you can like involve in students organization or things that you do in the past before you do your master's degree. You can be like really creative in that. So for the additional requirement, this is a preferred qualification. So all these requirements are nice to have, but it doesn't, you wanted to find ways to match the skill to them. So a lot of job descriptions, they will have these additional requirements that the recruiters are looking for. However, not all, sometimes we don't qualify like all 100% of that. But what we can do is we can actually like, for example, this point, demonstrated research experience, interest, drug, alcohol use disorder, excellent analytical, critical thinking, and quantitative skills. Aggie has not specifically researched drugs, but has looked at sensory motoring function. So that's what Aggie has. That's the gap there. And then the second one, Aggie experience devising and executing statistical modeling technique. Aggie has thus statistical modeling in their own research and their PI's research. So you have experienced this before, for example. And then from that, you can do self-audit on your skills. So look at all the preferred skills before and then self-audit. And then see modeling skills and experience. Okay, let's say maybe throughout the research, the PhD research, I guess learn something along the way with these 3 models. And then statistical skills. Let's say what statistical skills that Aggies want to get. So nested modeling skills or Bayesian modeling. That's for example. So Aggies solve major problem with data that was heterodoxastic in an experiment that they had run. And then this one is asked for like highly skilled in R. So most of the Aggies experiences with SPSS and SAS for data computation. So this one is a gap. So this is what the Aggie is missing. So now that you know that Aggie know that this is what he's lacking of, Aggie could notice lots of the position, ask for skills, and then how to develop or how to gain that skill. So along the way in the program, Aggie could take the elective stat courses, for example, check on the courses that are like using R softwares to gain the skills, or also Aggie can self-teach and then also learn from LinkedIn Learning, Coursera or edX, because there are now a lot of resources that are available out there for you to learn as well, or you can simply ask your PI and learn from them. The next one, Aggie will have a several papers presentation from the research kit, because these descriptions, preferred descriptions ask for excellent written and oral communication skills required, and then presenting and representing research. So even though if you don't actually have if you're a master's student and then you don't actually like provide papers or do the presentation in like in a conference, but along the way with your program, you like somewhere in your program or in your courses, they will ask you to have to create or to make a project, and then you have to have a written essay or written project. And then you will also have the presentation skills, because in graduate students, the program are set to have the students boost their public speaking skills and presentation skills. That's why there are a lot of courses that demands presentation and also the papers, the academic papers as part of their courses. So those kind of things that you can like actually tailor to your resume too. All right, so from those kind of information and then the gap skills and what is it that Aggie has to strengthen the application process or application document, it comes with this resume. So Aggie is now able to tailor the resume. So doctoral trained neuroscience with 5 years experience in laboratory setting. Remember, it asked for someone with master's degree with 4 years of experience, so that these ones, because the Aggie is the PhD student, so he matched this this qualification. He matched the qualification, and then master's degree in public health, social science, yada yada yada, equivalent combination of education and experience. Okay, so the next one is maybe in the research somewhere in the program, Aggie already conducted this research experience. So this is the part where you show and highlight your excellent analytical and critical thinking and quantitative skills. And then this last one is the experience in designing and executing statistical model and techniques. So you can have that as your soft skills as well, provided in your resume. And then demonstrate the ability to quick recognize problems in resulting identifying root causes in the data. So you mentioned about the Aggie were then able to tailor the resume, solve problem with this particular problem, and then resulting in normalized data. This is really not only say that a lot of people like came with the resume say that I'm a problem solver, I'm a detail oriented, but they don't really explain that through their bullets. So you wanted to have those soft skills and then explain that to your bullets like this. Then highly skilled in designing, because Aggie create OLS regression through R coding. This is show the executing the highly skilled in designing, executing, and troubleshooting code in R. And then excellent communication as well as a part of the research presentation. All right, with that, we're gonna go ahead and then touch a little bit on networking resources. So with the networking resources, we have LinkedIn. And then you can go to Texas A&M. If you are in a graduate student and you don't have a 5-star LinkedIn profile, you wanted to take the steps to create your LinkedIn, because a lot of jobs right now, they recruited to a lot of recruiters recruit through LinkedIn. So you wanted to have your LinkedIn as a really electric portfolio of yourself with your accomplishment and things that you gained throughout your journey for your career development. And then you can go to alumni tab and then do the keywords on your contact information. And then in here, there are like now already about 400 something alumni. So you wanted to be part of it too. And then the other resources that you can use is that the Association of Former Students. You can go to the aggienetwork.com. In here, for example, here you can find an Aggie. Let's say my major or my interest in training and development. So I can type here training and development, and it will pull up the data of who's the former Aggie, who's the Aggie's former students who like really working on that kind of field. And in this case, is polymer science, polymer chemist. And then from that, if you find like people or to start your network, like especially for international students and for some, mostly for graduate students, like you have you think that you don't have enough networks, because like when I started my program, it was my network was 0. And then now, because I learned the way to build my network through informational interview, for example, and also joined the LinkedIn and find an Aggie, I was able to provide to conduct informational interview. people ask question a lot of time, but what is informational interview? So informational interview is basically like a conversation when you wanted to gain information from a professionals to learn about their careers, or maybe to learn about their program, or maybe to learn about their field. So there are lots of ways that you can gain from conducting an informational interview. So questions to ask, you wanted to like really know that when you conduct an informational interview talking to professionals in their field, you don't want to ask directly for jobs, but you want to learn how they get into their position, how is it to prepare, how is the struggle, so that you can prepare. So you can learn, you can ask questions like how they broke into careers, the skills and knowledge that they need to that certain positions. Maybe talk about like podcasts or resources that they could suggest for you, so you can learn to fill in the gaps. And then important information about the organization or the companies that they're currently in. More information of questions and a list of questions, you can find it in here as well. So let's say Aggie conduct informational interview, or find someone from LinkedIn, Texas A&M LinkedIn alumni page, and then from Aggie, find an Aggie, and then from that Aggie conduct informational interview. And then find the information that to be a research scientist, Aggie needs to introduce to the PI at the Scripps Research Institute and strikes up the relation. So now you gain another network. So you broaden your network by just doing the informational interview. And then you can apply for the application for the open role, and then have your CV pushed to the top. And then let's say for the research and analysis position, so Aggie conduct informational interview with this JT Sarge as a US researcher, and then find the information and learn about cognitive research experience, highly value UX research space, and then employers would like to see UI knowledge and experience before hiring. So because Aggie is still having a little bit skills gap, so during the summer, Aggie takes some time to complete the coursework, short coursework, and then learn fundamental to supplement traditional research knowledge. So you take your time and then to fill in the gap skills so that you'll be ready to apply for a job. All right, so with that said, job search is iterative process. So sometimes when you start your program, you wanted to take times and then do the assessment and then check on the information, so you can you know what was that you wanted to do and then you can prepare for that. But sometimes too along the way, because you learn something new and then you find different interests or something that makes you wanted to change career. So this is an iterative process. So when you start, it doesn't mean that that will be exactly things that you wanted, that you are set for life, but you can take some times and then look back and see and take this process, take assessment again, and then see what is it that will match to your interest or your value at your current position. And then resources facilitate career exploration and launching. So part of being successful is knowing what skills, experience, and abilities KSOS and needed for a specific career. So that, for example, you wanted to have a specific career, but you don't have the skills there, you don't have the experience. Along your graduate program, you can prepare for that. You can set yourself for that. So that will help you, which those of you will have, and then you will, which of those who you need to get. So that will help you, like having resources available, like utilize them all, it will help you to get ready. And then last but not least, you wanted to make plans. Sometimes plans goes along the way, sometimes plans like really like out of what we expected, but it's okay, because again, job search is an iterative process. You will there will be time for you to like come back and see what is it that you're looking for and what is it that you feel like, okay, I wanted to change my career. So if this career plan you wish to enter, and then how do you get to the next, how do you get to the needed skills and experiences? Will your coursework provide the needed and experiences? Are there opportunities on campus through organization, program, or research opportunities? So you wanted to have all these questions in terms of preparing for that. All right, so here's the graduate student career services. We have people here. We want to help you in terms of preparing to explore your options. We wanted to make sure that you guys ready and know what is it you wanted to do before you graduate. So please use our services, and all our services are for free. You can reach out and then connect to us on LinkedIn. So maybe our connection on LinkedIn, also someone who is in your expertise or in your field, and you can, it can help you to boost your or broaden your network as well. And then here are the upcoming events or workshops that A&M Career Center provided. The next one is tomorrow. We have LinkedIn and branding. And then in October, we will have 4 career panels for you to attend. With the specific, we have recruiters perspective, pivoting in careers, biotechnology careers, and then consulting careers. So we will invite panelists who are professionals in their field, and then they will share their tips on getting their jobs, and then in terms of preparing for applying for jobs as well. Here's some of the career fairs information as well. The next one is, I believe the next one would be actually the sales one. Today, September 14th, there is the sales career fairs, and then more career fairs coming up this semester. And then you want to check them out. In the summer, we provided 2 cool events, summer graduate boot camps. It has 5 workshops per week, and then it is repeated twice, 8 a.m. for the international students. Like, because Career Center, we also serve students not only in College Station, and they are all virtual. So you can, this is virtual, right? Yes. And they are all virtual. Dr. Rainey gave this graduate bootcamp, and then we also have the summer individual development plan and career exploration for 8 weeks. So far we have 66 students begin this series. Here's are the masters and doctoral. They are masters and doctoral students, and in this IDP series, that we will be giving you resources that you will be able to use in terms of setting your steps and then making your career decision. And then our services, as you mentioned here, yes, we have graduate drop-ins every Monday and Friday in the morning, 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. And then we also have one-on-one advising. You can find that information. You can set the appointment through tx.agcc appointment. And then we also have lots of resources available for you as well. And then for the HireAggies course, you will be able to, you are eligible to earn 1 PDU after you complete the reflection on Canvas. So these are the steps to complete to earn that PDU. And with that being said, I'm gonna stop share that. And then I'm gonna, do we have questions? I think what I would do is that I will go to here. I will go to Texas A&M Career Center, and then I'll share my screen, and then I'll show you where to get to. All right, so if you go to careercenter.tmu.edu, it will get you to this page. So this is where all the magic, this is where all the magic works. Like, you go to launch HireAggies here, the blue button on your right, and then fill in your information. And then it will ask you to sign in. So this is the platform that I mentioned before. Here. We have in here we have the jobs. These are the job boards specifically for people recruit from A&M here. This is really based on your interest. here. And then what's cool about this is that because it's an AI, so when you apply for something or you search for something, and then it will trigger all the it will filter all the positions, like similar position related to your keywords that you use. Let's say, for example, it's here, it says I'm not qualified, but what can I do with this is that I can learn why I'm not qualified. It's because my graduation and then level degree and then my work authorization. This is also cool because it has like the information, the recruiter's information here, so that you can use this information to like ask questions or reach out or advocate for yourself. A lot of students, they apply for jobs through like just submitting resume online, and then they forget there are another steps after you apply for a job. So when you apply for jobs online, you will be just another resume, but you wanted to set yourself unique. You want to show your intention. So you want to if the jobs is through the system here, you can like reach out to this. Look, this one is like really have the information, like the email address and all that. So you can like really like follow up or send an email to talk about, to advocate for yourself. That I'm gonna stop there. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna annotate, then clear all my drawings, and then stop. And then what others you can do is that you can go to resources. This is where you can find the it is lagging. This is where you can go to, and then scroll all the way down. You can find going global, and then you can find career shift. So if you access these two resources, going global and career shift, through the way I show you, you do not have to pay for the annual fee. But if you just like type it through Google search engine, then you will have to pay. And then this also have the Career Insider by First Hand too. So these are cool. And then as the versatile PhD, these are some resources, search engine that you can use for you to explore your options and then learn the job descriptions and also get ready to apply for jobs. That's all from me. I'm gonna stop share. Any questions?
Here's just a question to show how you got to that one page again.
I
think it was one of the resources inside HireAggies.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you just go to,
Oh, share your screen.
oh, sorry. I share my screen. Share my screen. Okay, so you go to careercenter.tmu.edu. It will ask, and then on the top, there will be options to launch a button called Launch HireAggie, blue button. And then you can click on that. It will get you to this front page here. And then you can go to jobs to find jobs embedded in HireAggie's platform. And then you can go to resources here. The options are on the corner, your right-hand corner. And then scroll all the way down. You can find Versatile PhD. You can find Career Insider by First Hand, Association for Former Student. And then all the way scroll down, you'll have the information for access to log into Going Global and then the career shift. Any other questions? I'm gonna stop share and then I am going to stop record too.